Remove all the props.
Professor Boko Kundiri is also here. And then the Vice Chancellor of Borosea University, Professor Ndabe, is also here. They are all here with us today. We have to recognize them. So like I was saying, Dr. Dahiru Bobbo, OFR, the Madami of Adamawa, is somebody who has groomed a lot of individuals, who has mentored so many individuals, including the person that has gathered us here today, Dr. Lawan Bukar Haji. He is one of those who was groomed by Dr. Dahiru Bobbo to become administrator. Of course, he worked with the first Vice Chancellor of University of Maiduguri, Professor Essian Udom. Professor Essian Udom was the first Vice Chancellor of University of Maiduguri, and Dr. Dahiru Bobbo worked with him assiduously to set the foundation for what we know as the University of Maiduguri. Even after Professor Essian Udom left and Jibril Aminu came, Dr. Dahiru Bobbo still worked with him in the University of Maiduguri. And I believe the Vice Chancellor of Yobe State University, Professor Daura, can bear witness, because I was told that he was admitted into the university during that particular period as a student in the geography department. And also Professor Tobias is also here with us. Many of them were admitted into the university. Many were given jobs in the university during that particular period. So it's very instrumental that the service that Dr. Dahiru Bobbo delivered in the University of Maiduguri was actually recognized all over Nigeria, leading to his appointment as the secretary to the Adamawa State government during the military era in Adamawa State. And instructively, Dr. Dahiru Bobbo did not work with only one military governor. He worked with three military governors, I think, from what I read. He worked with Mahmoud Jega, Jonah Jang, and I think John Madaiki, I think 3 of them. So that explains his acumen in terms of administration, in terms of management of men and materials. For 3 separate military governors to come and work with you, it shows that you know your onions and you know what you are doing. So we have to celebrate you, sir. It's important we celebrate you, and we are going to celebrate you tomorrow again. So he mentored many. Lawan Bukar is one of them. Dr. Lawan Bukar told me yesterday that he was groomed as an administrator, as a young man. As an administrator, he was groomed by Dr. Dahiru Bobbo. In fact, he says he sees himself as the first son of Dr. Dahiru Bobbo. That is how he describes it. So his service did not stop here, of course. After University of Maiduguri, the Adamawa State government, the National Boundary Commission, the National Population Commission, and of course the Federal Character Commission. All these ones are national service that require administrative skills, ability to manage resources and materials, which are all things that were engaged in this particular process. So we are here today briefly. It's not a long occasion, but to celebrate this individual, this administrator, this manager of men, somebody who has mentored many, somebody who is a father, a grandfather, and a great-grandfather. We are here to celebrate you, and we'll continue to celebrate your legacies, not only to the University of Maiduguri, but to Nigeria as a whole. Thank you very much, sir, and we are very happy to have you here. And we are happy that the University of Maiduguri is going to honor you tomorrow with the Doctorate Degree honoris causa. It's very significant recognition for what you have done to the university, and we hope that other efforts will be done in terms of showcasing your achievements. I personally presented a brief program today on the Unimed FM on your life. I wish you had listened to my presentation this afternoon, but I think they are going to repeat it tomorrow, inshallah, on this station. Before we close, I want us to have a brief, just brief remarks from some of these individuals that have been impacted by Dr. Dahiru Bobbo. I would like to start with Professor Muhammad Adaura, the former Vice Chancellor of University of Maiduguri, now Vice Chancellor of Yobe State University, who was admitted as a student. So I don't know. How was it in those days? Those good days, sir. If you can give us a brief talk, sir. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Alhamdulillah, our elders in this house, my senior brothers, colleagues, both from town as well as from the university. Let me also welcome each and every one of us to this very special occasion. This occasion is a dinner organized in honor of our brother, Sam, our father, who has impacted on our lives. As the MC has said, many of us here were admitted to the university during his tenure as a registrar of this university. And the organizer of this dinner, Dr. Lawan Bukar Alhaji, at the time we were admitted, he was the admission officer. He admitted me. I did not reveal some of the secrets or some of the observations I made when we were admitted. I was telling him when I became the Vice Chancellor of the university, I said, my registrar, he was expecting me busy. I said, please, let me tell you one story. You are the one that admitted me and got me registered in El Kenemi Hall. And I reminded him of one incident that happened, and he laughed over it. I won't tell you because Kundeli will disturb you. He hears about that incident. Dr. Dahiru Bobbo, you are a father to us. Lawan Bukar is your first son, and there are many of us here who are your sons, and you have daughters all over. This morning, yesterday night and this morning, there are a lot of things that have been said on alumni of University of Maiduguri who have excelled in various walks of life. When we are talking of science in Nigeria, the big names are products of University of Maiduguri. When we are talking of medical professionals in Nigeria, the big names are from University of Maiduguri. And today, we are happy that we have produced so many vice chancellors. I'm happy to inform you that I was the first alumnus of the University of Maiduguri to become the vice chancellor. And thereafter, the trend continues. The person who took over from me was an alumnus, and the person who took over from me is an alumnus, and I'm sure the person who will take over from you will be an alumnus. These are all your products, sir. Not only in the academic line, even in the administrative line, they are all your products. Dr. Lawan Bukar is always very proud of you for really putting him on course. I got close, very close to you through Dr. Lawan Bukar and Haji when he was serving as my own registrar. On several occasions, we visited you for several reasons, and that actually endeared me to be closer to you. And when this particular idea of dinner came up, I told Dr. Lawan Bukar that even if the dinner is going to hold in Lagos, will travel to Lagos to really show you our appreciation that you have done a lot. Not only to the University of Maiduguri, Gongola State, but also to the Federation. Having worked in various capacities, both at the Federal Character Commission as well as in the National Boundaries Commission. The federal government of Nigeria has recognized you, given you so many awards, uncountable awards, and individually, products of University of Maiduguri have acknowledged you, appreciated you in various spheres of influence. Recently, Modibo Adama University has given you an honorary doctorate degree. Tomorrow, the University of Maiduguri will also honor you with the doctorate degree. I'm sure you cherish the honorary doctorate degree of University of Maiduguri. You know, it will be endless. Here in this house, Dr. Lawan Bukar, for the past 15 to 20 years, we used to gather here as an annual event during the Ramadan. But today's gathering is a very special one. Special one in the sense that everyone you see here, you saw them without gray beard. But today, many are looking like some of them are even older than you. Look at Adam Modu, he looks older than you. Although that one particular person here, whom I'm sure will also respect, your teacher. Is here, Professor Emeritus Hamid Abdullah. You also have our big professors here, Professor Balla, who will also be honored tomorrow with Professor Emeritus. He's one of the founding fathers of University of Maiduguri, who joined the university at its infancy, 1976 or thereabout.
Absolutely.
I'm sure your SP number should not be more than 3 digits.
Correct.
Today, the number of workers in the University of Maiduguri is in multiple thousands. You have seen it all. You've seen the bad, you've seen the good. But today, we can only remember the good things that you have done to the university. So I think today, as the MC are saying, it's not an occasion for speech, but at least for those of us that have benefited from you, virtually everybody in this house has benefited from your mentoring. We appreciate the Almighty Allah for sparing our lives to witness this particular evening. And we'll continue praying to witness many more of such occasions. This occasion is not only for University of Maiduguri alumni, but there are so many good friends from the town that are here. We used to meet here, we'll continue to meet here, and Lawan Bukar, please continue doing the good things. It is your own initiative that we are all here. If it were in the academics, you would have also been with Yababa that you also been. But still, we appreciate you, please, for bringing us together. And we have learned a lot from you. Wherever you go, I know the struggles that you pass through. I've always been following you, even though I was a deputy vice chancellor at that time. But you know how we worked. And at the end of the day, the truth prevailed, and we have achieved what we wanted to achieve. It is our prayer that we will continue to grow this university to greater heights. And those that will take over from Professor Aliu Shugaba after successful completion of your term, I will pray for them to also continue from wherever you stop. To the town, those from town, please continue giving all the necessary support. I could remember Ahmed, I could remember Bamaji, Bra. Yes, that has been here now. He doesn't get all at all. He doesn't get at all. He doesn't get all. If you hear his age, by now he was a professor a long time ago. And our former council member, Alaji Dunoma, I can remember you are a council member in the University of Maiduguri. When I was appointed the deputy vice chancellor in 2004, That was the time you were ending your tenure as a councillor in University Council. So please continue giving us your support. We'll continue praying for you, Dahiru Bobbo, to continue doing the good things. I can see you are still strong. I can see if they put you in the office of the registrar, you can still perform. So may Almighty Allah guide us. May He protect us about all that are here. May Almighty take us back to our destination safely. And we pray that I will continue seeing each other in good times like this. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Umame Baradora, for the kind words. Distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, quickly, because we have to wrap up, we'll take a few comments from Professor Toba Ezekbe. And
well, my name is Engineer Dr. Abubakar Isa. I came here to represent the Deputy Governor of Borno State on the occasion of the dinner hosted for Dr. Dahiru Bobbo, being the former Registrar of the University of Maiduguri. Well, the message for him, Dr. Dahiru Bobbo is our mentor. He has been the former. They are the ones that were at the forefront in guiding the affairs of the University of Maiduguri for a very long time. Even our mentor and father, that's the Lawan Bukar that hosted us. I think it is under the tutelage of Dahiru Bobbo. For Lawan Bukar to have time to host the cream of personality, you can see we have former vice chancellors, present vice chancellor, Professor Kundiri. A lot of dignitaries have come to attend this program. I think it is worthy to mention that he's somebody that the University of Maiduguri has done well to him, and we are happy and we really congratulate him. Thank you, sir.
So that will make people to work hard. And if you go to South today, you see a good physician. You go to Southwest, go to Southeast, anybody, 1, 2, 3 people. If you go to the ministry, if you see 1, 2, 3 palm sex, they are there. Even one commissioner now saying that I should convey my message to you, that you are the one that made him. He's a professor of medicine. So without you and other people that, because if you wanted to frustrate the efforts of the vice chancellors to start with, you would have said, well, that this one is not going to be possible, that University of Maiduguri is meant for the indigenous. But you did not do that. You encouraged them to admit more people from all walks of life. And that is what is keeping University of Maiduguri to where it is. And Elijah being our first son, some of us are your grandchildren. So if that is the case, because I remember the day I walked into your office, there and there for admission, you called Elijah. Elijah came, you handed me over to Elijah. I followed Elijah and picked my admission letter. And that's that. And the first appointment I got as an intern was when you were in Federal National Population Commission. 1004, I came there. I was there by 8 o'clock in the evening. You came back from a meeting around 2 a.m. So 8 p.m. that very day, I met you. You gave me a note to see the managing director of Agric Bank, Shaku Jafia. You just what you wrote there on their complimentary card was, please help me to employ this chap. I took the appointment, the complimentary card. Immediately he saw it, he gave me appointment. So that was the first appointment I got before you made. I was still serving, I was doing my NYC when I met you, and this thing happened. And then before I joined the University of Maiduguri. So what I want to say now is that how I wish all Nigerians, all administrators are doing the way you are. What you did and what you are doing. I want you to keep it up. Because we have nothing to give you, because at these positions you have seen them. The only thing is that you are not good in packing money. So we continue to pray for you for good health. And that's what I can say, that may God continue to give you good health. Because there are some people now that are just, they are wrecked. They cannot even move. Somebody has to hold them before they move, even to go and take this. They are begging them to take small food and take their drug. But I saw the food, I was eyeing the food you took, and so please, that's all I want to say. Keep it up, and then let other people who are here to copy your style. Please. Thank you, sir.
our daddy. He's a daddy all the way. Well, he's giving me the opportunity to fall into the category of members of staff. I have three-letter staff digit. 831 is my number. So I want to thank you, sir, for giving me this opportunity to come to the University of Maiduguri to work and to serve the university. And this I've been doing for the past 43 years. Thank you for this privilege. Well, I remember one incident when I was a council member, 2014, thereabout. And at the end of the day, I said, thank you, God, for giving me the opportunity to be part and parcel of the University of Maiduguri. Because Elijah was there. He was there as part of the Federal Character Commission. And that it demonstrated nothing but sheer integrity. Nothing but demonstration of being an astute administrator. And I was really proud of him. At that time, remember that time, sir? There was a little problem. I had to come in. And he did us proud. He did us proud. So thank you for that. So on this note, I will join the others in wishing you more happy later years on earth and in good health. Thank you very much, sir.
About Dr. Dahiru Bobbo. I was his teacher at Bauchi Teachers College. That was yes, and that was in 1966. If I can remember as well. 1966, and he was the head student at that time. I'm sure he was the head of student union, Bauchi Teachers College. So I found him, honestly, a complete, or rather say, gentleman, and he had complete respect of other students. He was loved by everybody, I must say, and he had the qualities of being a good leader, and so it happened after some years I went to BUK. Then it was ABC, ABU, Ahmadu Bello University, or Abdullahi Bayero College. That's ABC, ABU, Abdullahi Bayero College of Ahmadu Bello University. So then my student had already got admission ahead of me. So I think I was two years behind him. 2 years behind. Yes, certainly. I was 2 years behind him at the university. So, and when I graduated, it so happened that he was the person who employed me. So I became his student. well, instead of being his teacher now, is his student. And we continue to vibrate on the same frequency. We understand ourselves very well. I gave him all the respect necessary for a registrar, and he also, in turn, gave me all the necessary respect as his former teacher. So that's the little thing, the short, brief, I would say, on Dr. Dahiru Bobbo, Adamawa. Thank you, and thank you very much at all. Muhammad was. You know, there is one saying in Hausa, and I told them, like tube and tire, they were always together, always together. Whenever you see one, obviously you will see the other. So, unfortunately, I wouldn't say unfortunately, we lost, it's a necessary end, we lost messaging Naira. So, we lost that one. Thank you very much.
Program. And that program prepared us very well for our academic pursuits. Alhamdulillah, we have all grown while they're still alive to see the people they mentored taking charge of the affairs of the university. And one good thing is, and particularly on Sunday, I granted an interview to both Radio Nigeria Peace FM and BRTV. And they asked me a question. How is it that the university, years upon years, in 48 years of its existence, has maintained a steady balance and has continued to produce great men and women? I said, well, it's just simply because the founding fathers laid a solid foundation, an unshakable one that allowed subsequent leaders of the university to continue to build upon. And you check it out. Every single vice chancellor, every single registrar who has come and served has always put in his best for the university. There are times you would think, this vice chancellor has done so much, I pity whosoever is coming after him. But the moment the person comes after him, he performs wonderfully and even tries to surpass the one who was. During the time of JD Amin, we were all saying, JD has done a lot of work, whosoever is coming. But when Professor Mala Daura came, it was like as if JD has not done anything. So many projects, so many things were realized for the university. And after our dear Professor Mala Daura left office, it continued. And then when I was to take over the university from my predecessor, immediate past vice chancellor, I asked myself, am I really going to be able to do it? Am I? But then, surprisingly too, a lot of projects here and there. Sometimes I even wonder how we get some of these things. But the thing is, if we go and talk to people and speak our stories, tell our stories, we find people giving us the support. A typical example is the way we spoke with the chairman of BUA group of companies. And he gave out 1 billion naira to construct an innovation center for the university. Similar kind of advocacy, similar kind of going out to tell our stories, similar kind of going around to see who are our alumni, where are they, what kind of influence can they, exert wherever. We find support coming left, right, and center. In the midst of a situation where everywhere is complaining of no money in the country, and even the universities, they do not have the resources. But alhamdulillah, when it comes to infrastructural development, you see that we get the support from somewhere. And we want to attribute this to the kind of grooming, to the kind of mentoring that we received from people like Dr. Dahiru Bobbo and Dr. Lawan Bukar and Professor Maladaura and the rest of them. When Professor Maladaura was the Vice Chancellor, I was Deputy Dean of Students, and my Dean was Professor Bakar Kundiri. This whole kind of, things, they happen without you knowing really that things like this could happen. But all of us, today Kundiri is the Vice Chancellor of Al-Ansari University, but he still comes to the University of Maiduguri to give service. Professor Sandabia is with the Borno State University. He was the Dean of Faculty of Veterinary Medicine before he was appointed. So all of us, we try to rally around each other. When the Borno State University was established, and we realized that they have to be assisted, we simply came into an MOU with Borno State University.
Good point. The story of University of Maiduguri is the story of resilience. It's a story that needs to be told beyond the shores of Nigeria. Because I was in the old Senate chamber when the former Minister of Education came. The former Vice Chancellor was there, Professor Jody was there, and the Minister was saying that, why don't you close down the university? That was the statement that came out from the mouth of the Minister. Why don't you just close down the university? But the university was never closed because of the resilience. And the resilience was a product of the quality of the leadership we had in the university, and we continue to have in this university. So we're very grateful. May God keep you together with us. May God continue to give us good health so that we continue to stay together and serve the university and humanity in general. We have come to the end. Before we close, I think we have to give the opportunity for the celebrant to just give us a few words. You don't have to stand up, sir. Please, please remain seated. Please. Yes, please remain seated. So let's listen to Dr. Dahiru Bobbo. Perhaps we are going to listen to him more tomorrow, but briefly today. Thank you, sir.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The great Vice Chancellors we have here, and friends that came here from Yola and Abuja, and my children, my family, who are around here. Good evening. Well, in an occasion like this, especially after some of these brilliant statements made about my personality, it would be a very difficult thing for me to respond. But it is also customary that I should say one or two things. First of all, let me say that I am a product of the Europeans, what we can call the colonial masters. Some of us here, all those of us who are about 70 and above, we all went to school at the time when the British authorities were in charge of education in Nigeria, and we have the best of education, the best of training. And thereafter, I moved to become a teacher myself. The education became part and parcel of me. But I'm always saying that
if you are trained as a grade 2 teacher in those days, with all the principles and practice of education in you, you always feel part of education for life. But all the same, when we come to talk about the University of Maiduguri, as far as I'm concerned, I will first talk about Maiduguri itself, because Maiduguri is the one that made my life what I am. Because when I came into Maiduguri, the community accepted us, and I found in Maiduguri people, it's a community where if you have good intention to serve, you can serve very well, because here the situation, the people, they do, in those days, I don't know about now, the people will not bother you, will not interfere with what you are doing in your life. They will always encourage you to continue to do the good thing for the people. And when I came here, this is what I found. Very, very encouraging. And we came to Maiduguri in 1972 when I came to Maiduguri. We came with a challenge. The challenge was the same British system of education that brought us up was found to be a bottleneck for the progress of young people, especially the young ones who wanted to go to universities. You know the system of education that we inherited. It was 7, then we have to do 7 years in junior primary school, 5 years in secondary school, and you have to do 2 years in high secondary school to get A-level before you can go to university. Those 2 years that you have to do after your secondary education became a bottleneck. In the then northeastern state, when we started in 1972, there were only 5 or 4 high school certificate schools. One here attached to the secondary government college in Maiduguri, one in Bauchi, one in Yola, and I don't know, one other in Waka or Ganye. Only 4. Those 4 schools, in the whole 2 years of training, hardly produced more than 10 to 15 students to get at this university because of getting the 3 A-levels. They hardly get the 3 A-levels. So the challenge was, North-East was lagging behind. Yeah, the vacancies in Maiduguri University for North-Easterners, but they can't get there because you cannot gain people with the required 2 A-levels to be able to get to the university. But that was the challenge that was thrown to us when we came to Maiduguri here. And my boss then, Alhaji Gali, who was made the principal of NECAS, was given the marching order to see how we can improve this gap, this small net that is so narrow for us. How do we open it so that access to university will be widened for the indigenes of Northeast? And that's how NECAS came about. And then we have to adopt some American system slightly, because in the American system, from your secondary school, you will go straight to university. The British system we have at those days, you have to go through this neck of 2 years. How do we merge the two? So, NECAS came in with all the challenge, and that is the time we say now the best thing is to have a very, very good foundation. Foundation in a sense, get good facilities, laboratories, good lecture theaters, good classrooms, and also get good teachers all over the world. And then assemble these students, give them the opportunity to be exposed to very wide training, also for 2 years. And then ask these same university people to come and examine them. Don't ask why or GCA level to come and examine. Ask the same university people who will come and take these students and train them, come and examine them to see whether they are fit to benefit from university education. And that's how NECAS came in. And we have to work very hard from these ADU and other people to come in under the arrangement that is called interim joint matriculation for them. Specifically, these university professors come and examine our students. We brought them in, we train them for 2 years, and we feel their level of understanding of education is good enough for them to benefit from university training. Come and do it. And that's how we did it. But unfortunately, but the fortunate thing is, within the 3 years, the first year of our own experiment, instead of getting only 15 students to go to university, the first year, our first admission was 1973. By 75, we graduated them. We got 247 students that were admitted to. In 74, we increased the number to about 450. Those are the ones who graduated later on, and about 410 of them went to university. You can see the improvement. So within the 3 years, in the third year, we admitted almost 700 or so. So within 3 years of NECA's existence, we were able to produce university qualified engineers of almost 1,500 or so. You see, compared with the old system, people had allowed the old system to continue. So you see, that is the first challenge. And suddenly, when we were there, federal government announced establishing a university in Maiduguri, and then sending a vice chancellor to come with his briefcase into Maiduguri without any facility for that university. We accepted him, we hosted him as our guest in our college, and thereafter, as we are doing it, history was unrolling. That northeast that we are all relying on was broken into three. Ongola, Bauchi, Borno. And who is going to now own NECAS? Nobody. Federal government took over NECAS and said, we are taking over NECAS and we are handing over to this one vice chancellor in your place to convert it into a university. And yeah, for almost 4 or 5 months, that vice chancellor had lost staff. We are all operating our NECAS. Suddenly, with the creation of states, many of our senior people in NECAS were being deployed, including our principal, were deployed in the Pamsec Education and later deployed in the Secretary of Government of the new state. And everybody was leaving. And in fact, most of the senior ones left in the university except myself. So I had to remain behind, work with that one vice chancellor to be able to process the takeover of that NECAS, both facilities, staff, and students. And you see the terms for takeover and the process was so serious. That's the reason why when all of you are making reference to Dr. Lawan Bukar, who managed the admission office for so long, because when Dr. Lawan Bukar came, we handed over to him all the terms and conditions of the takeover of NECA by federal government as far as admission students are concerned. And it's a very, very difficult type of policy to implement. Here are the policy. And the policy is you must integrate the students. This is a federal university. That means students must come from all over the country. That is the first condition. And most of this is a university. A university means the whole world. That means our staff should be from all parts of the world. And the second condition is this university is located in Maiduguri, in Northeast. And Northeast handed over this facility to us. And therefore, initially, you should try to make sure we cater for indigenous of the Northeast as much as we can afford to come to this university. And therefore, your admission exercise, see what you can do for Borno State, for Gongola State, and for Bauchi State, for northern states, as well for educationally disadvantaged states all over the country, and for the rest of Nigeria. And then the police, I said, Lawan Bukar, here it is. Do your best in shortlisting students for admission. See that you reflect all these complex conditions. And Lawan Bukar was able to do it. He did it so well, to the admiration of everybody. Even if there was any complaint, when the council said, as far as this is the best you can do, there is nothing you can do about it. Our other administrators were there, of course, and they are handling some other aspects, but not admission. We have Mr. Jibodu was my deputy, was handling some aspects. Initially, I have the imam who was assisting with establishment, he's handling establishment. Well, Abakar Gide, initially was in the student affairs. I don't know when our chairman took over. So and so forth. And this is how we moved. So what I'm saying, few things you said about me. Let me tell you the secret. I told some of the alumni students sometime last month when they invited me. I said, the system we have an open door policy. All of us who are not having anything, all of us say we come to serve, and therefore we have to make opportunity, and are working for young people, and therefore want to give young people opportunity, either to come in as students, or to come in as graduate assistants, or to come in as young administrators. Open door policy. That's what helped both myself and Lawan Bukar to be able to manage the situation. That was able to produce all of you here, including Professor Ashodipo, Professor Tombe, and so many others that both in staff lecturers as well as staff of students. Some people made some reference or some of my own small intervention here and there. Professor Ashodipo even tried to refer to a case of 2014. You know, in all this country, the management of universities, what Chancellor will tell you, the most difficult thing to do is for the registrar and the vice chancellor not to understand themselves. Once you have a conflict between the two of them, then the situation is serious. The case Professor was referring, I believe, is that type of thing. It never happened in University of Maiduguri, as far as I know, for a long time. But suddenly, when I was in the public complaint commission somewhere, suddenly I see in Maiduguri, the vice chancellor had a problem with the registrar. And my colleague, who is in charge of Borno, knowing very well that I'm from here, he invited me to come and help. And we sat down and we tried our best to see how we can settle the matter. Well, the matter is settled somehow, since all of them are alive and they are doing their own things. But we could not restore them to work together, but we have done something. So another experience that I want to make, but I hope Professor Maladawara will not feel embarrassed, but nobody contested with him in this hall. I met Bukar Baba yesterday somewhere. I know one of them, but yeah, nobody. The training we gave to our administrators when they are young in this university helped me so much on that day when we had a very, very serious occasion in this university. I came from Abuja as an observer. The prosecutor appointed of the vice chancellor, new vice chancellor of the University of Maiduguri. And the vice chancellor was Professor Daura. Daura was acting as active vice chancellor. And the process said to put a motion for appointing a new vice chancellor. He was interested, he applied like any other person. It came to a level of now making the selection, interview, process, and so on and so forth. And suddenly, we have challenges, very serious one from the various communities. And at that time, there was a lawyer, a leading lawyer who was the chairman of the council. Very serious person. Very powerful. To control everything. came to a meeting of the for the appointment I came to observe, and the chairman of council came and said, well, we cannot continue with this appointment because I received so many very serious complaints, we can't make it. I said, sir, I'm not a member of this but I come here to observe. But I want to give you a small benefit of the doubt. I was once a staff of this university. In fact, a founding member of staff. And some of the regulations, including even the university law that's being operated, we were drafted or we participated in making them. And we operated the regulations for some time. Sir, if you can just disclose some of this problem, maybe I can give some small benefit of my own history, whether it can help. He says, one of them is this, 2 members of Senate who are sitting here were appointed, were handpicked and appointed by one of the candidates who is going to be interviewed for the appointment. I said, is it possible under our regulation in this university? He said that we established a change. He said, whatever you can say. I said, why the registrar? The registrar should bring the minutes of the Senate when these 2 members of Senate were appointed on this committee. During our days, the regulations that we operated and we put in place that whoever is the vice chancellor, whether it's the active vice chancellor or substitute vice chancellor sitting as the chairman of Senate, will have no role in the appointment of in the election or the appointment of anybody coming to anybody. When the vice chancellor, if I'm sitting, if it comes to the question of election, we sit aside. The registrar will take over. He's the returning officer. That's like Professor Mena was our returning officer, Yola. The registrar is then the sole authority who will contact he will call for nomination from the senators who are there. They will do their nomination. He will arrange people who will assist him among the senators. They will vote, in most cases secret voting. They will collect all the ballots. Everybody will see it. They will come and put it on the table of while the list is sitting. Because some people, they count. And that's how we make our nomination and election of people that will serve on various committees of the Senate. So if that procedure is still on, if you confirm from the minutes of Senate, then Manada will have no hand in bringing these 2 people, gentlemen. So what he did, the chairman of council bring it. They brought the Senate minutes. Exactly what we are doing when we were there, this is exactly what the registrar did to produce those 2 members who are on the chairman council said, I'm satisfied. Then he moved to the next one. He said about 30 or 40 young professors who were promoted recently. All of them, they received a letter of promotion, young professors, but they were not allowed to come to attend that Senate meeting. Deliberately so that because they know these young Senate, but they have a different opinion. I said, so would that be also a problem? He said it's a problem for him. Here's the application. I said, that's okay, sir. Get the law, the main law of this university, and see the section on the procedure for Senate meeting or council meeting or any committee meeting. Once a quorum is formed, that committee or that Senate or that council can proceed to do legal laws. What is the number of those senators who are not allowed to attend because of that? Again, when they brought the list, you look at the law and check that law. He says, normally this type of thing is not put in law. I said, but in our university law, it is there in black and white. When you look at it, again, is satisfied. We can continue now with the interview. These things, they come in life, and when you look back, when you say the founding fathers have done a very solid foundation, solid foundations are there because that makes me always happy. Whenever something is connected with my name in this university, I feel very happy because let me tell you, I want to thank Professor Dahiru Bobbo for nominating me for this award, because to me that's the greatest thing in my life. In my life, for the University of Maiduguri, they recognize that we have done something at the early stage. And most of that, these regulations and laws and guidelines that we put in place, luckily all of them are still functioning in the university, they are working, because we tested them and when we came to that challenge. And these are the things that I always feel happy. The only thing that make me sad in life is that many of those that we work together in the early part of the university are either not around, they are gone, or they are around but we cannot work with them. They are in. See, Professor Esra, all of them named them. Professor Mughal Ghali, Professor Gazama, all these early founding fathers, none of them are around. And those of them who are around, like Alhaji Umar Ibrahim, this registrar, like Professor Jibril Aminu, they are there, but that we cannot work with them. They are very sick. So that is the thing that makes me, especially the death of Mohamed Lawan recently, which is one of the youngest. When Mohamed Lawan was my student, I taught him, and we worked together, but she is gone. So these are the things that make one sometimes feel very sad. But luckily, some of us are alive, and now we live to see some of these honors. My teacher, Professor Abdul Hamid, like my neighbor, Professor Balla, now we have Dr. Lawan Bukar, and a few others that are around. That we thank Almighty Allah that we are still alive to witness this honor. So thank you very much, Dr. Lawan Bukar. I'll be sending you a text to say what you are doing to me is too much. The generosity is too much. I know we work very nicely together, but what you are doing to me is beyond working together. It's just like I thank you, I appreciate you, and I pray for us to continuity of long life to see things like this. Thank you, and I thank everybody for coming. Thank you, and God bless.